I've talked a lot about common sense as an approach to policy and governing, but I think it's really important to give examples of what that means, not just use the phrase in some meaningless way. So I want to give you an example of a policy and how I think we Democrats ought to message it to maximum effect, focused on a common sense approach to helping working class people, in this case, around housing. Housing is a major, major problem in this country. It's expensive. It is taking more and more out of the budget of your average working class family. So how do we address it? I have a piece of legislation that bans hedge funds from buying single family houses. It's a major problem. Statistics show that 20% of the housing in this country this year has been purchased by hedge funds. Sorry, 20% of the single family housing has been purchased by hedge funds. Well, my bill would ban that. Now, certainly that has an impact on cost, because if you are competing against a hedge fund that can come in and do all cash offers with no inspections, it's going to drive up the cost and it's going to be difficult to compete with them. But the way to talk about the issue is it's not just about cost, it's about the central challenge of our economy over the course of the last 50 years. We've generated a ton of wealth in the last 50 years, but it's gone to very few people, primarily investors, shareholders, and executives, as opposed to workers. They've taken away from wages and benefits for workers in order to drive up the share price. They do stock buybacks, all of these things to make sure that that wealth goes disproportionately up there. Well, one of the few things that has been left for the working class in terms of wealth creation and getting equity is in the house. Your blue-collar family, you save up, you buy a house, it goes up in value, you get the benefit of that. Well, what's happening now, and forgive me the way I like to put it, is now the bastards on Wall Street are coming for that too. It's like, okay, we took most of the equity out of your work to put it into the share price to reward the few over the many. Now we're going to go after the equity in your house. So you're going to be a renter. We're going to get the equity. The same people who have gotten so much of the wealth over the course of the last 50 years are coming to grab even more and drive that into a bigger problem. So a common sense solution is to say, we are going to ban them from doing that. We're going to give you, the person who wants to purchase a home for their family, a better shot to do that. Stop you from having to compete against those hedge funds and making sure working people are the ones who get the benefit of the equity in their houses, not the very same people who have already taken the equity out of so many other places in our lives. I think that's a common sense approach on a really important issue, housing and affordability, and also protecting the working class, making sure people can not just get by, but they can get ahead.